Good. Welcome everybody. We are having a webinar under the Millennium Career Development Academy. I am your presenter, Armagan Ahmed. Today we are going to discuss about what are the CMA exam techniques, what is CMA, how the CMA can be easily passed, how to attempt the papers, etc. What are the resources available, and many other things we can discuss today. And I will be taking your questions. Right, so I will be discussing your questions there, whatever. So we are going to discuss today. Our agenda for today is about, we discussed about what is IMA, how to become CMA, exam preparation, what to expect at examination center, strategies for MCQs, for essay types, and then later we'll be discussing about the financial statement analysis. That was the content we have to do for the CMA part 2. Now, first thing that comes in mind, that is the CMA. Should anybody do the CMA? Why anybody should do the CMA? CMA, basically, we do know, is a American certifications. And if we compare the American and British certifications, so American certification, they have lesser papers as compared to the British certifications. So just like if you see the CMA of US, they have 2 papers, where the CIMA is having, I think, 13, 14 papers are there in CIMA. Similarly, if you see the Chartered Accountancy of India, Pakistan, or other countries, we say there are 15 to 20 papers are there in different countries, whereas CPA USA is having only 4 papers. So in the American certification, they want more conceptual based things. They want that person should be very clear about concepts, and they should be able to take the work from the subordinates, means they are working at the managerial space and they do not need to be cram everything and everything. So they should be taking the resources, from the resources they can take the work. So first thing that comes in our mind, that is CMA is recognized or not. So we can see, if whenever you want to see any financial certification, you must see whether it is IFAC member or if it is not IFAC member. So here I have mentioned here, you can see the last item is a US, United States, and it is mentioned Institute of Management Accountants. So IMA is basically the body which runs the program for the CMA in US. So Institute of Management Accountant is a recognized financial institution. It means any part of the world you will go, so it will be recognized. CMA, basically, as I told you, there are 2 papers, there are 2 exams that you have to give, and the bachelor degree is required in any major. It means if anybody is from arts, from science, for business and finance, so they can enter. Secondly, if somebody is not having their degree even, so they can avail after the giving the exam as well. So, but better we recommend that anybody should be graduate and then he should pursue this. So 2-year experience required, and a person should be active IMA member so that he can get the IMA certification. CMA basically is online. You can say computer-based examination are there, so you do not need to means wait for the particular month. Just like you see the ACCA and other papers, they are either 6 months or every 3 months they are held. So CMA basically can be done. Even now we will discuss, you can give exam from your home as well. That is also possible. Or Prometric Center that is there in every country, cities, different countries are there. So you can give the exam in the Prometric Center as well. Exams can be given in 3 windows: January any day, February any day, May, June similarly any day, September, October any day. It means after January, February, there will be, we can say March and April, no exam. Then after May, June, we can say July, August, no exam. It means 2 months continuously exam. then 2 months off, 2 months exam, 2 months off, like this. And candidate, whatever the exam they want to give it, either part 1 or part 2, any exam they can give earlier. When we talk about the exam content, basically there are 2 papers that we discussed. So CMA part 1, basically it is called financial planning, performance and analytics. Financial planning, performance and analytics it's called, and that is having 6 sections, right? Section A is about external financial reporting. It's all about accounting methods. Planning and budgeting, forecasting, performance management, cost management. You can see these are related to cost and management accounting. And as you can see, only the budgeting and performance management, they have the 20% weightage. Otherwise, all internal control, technology, all are having the 15% weightage. Difficulty level is intermediate level, not very high. It is intermediate, we call it level C. Is a medium difficulty level is there. This is the part 1 thing. So it means in part 1 we have financial accounting, we have cost and management accounting, and we have contents of risk management as well as professional ethics as well. When we talk about the CMA, structure of the CMA, basically this is a 4-hour exam. 4-hour exam and 100 multiple choice question, right, will be coming in the exam there, and that has to be passed basically in the 100 in 3 hours, and total marks are basically 375. Means we can say MCQs is having 75% weightage, essay is having 25% weightage. So 1 hour is the essay time. 2 questions will be coming. It may have parts, 4 to 5 parts possible in each question. It means 30 minutes, 2 questions that will be coming in the essay type, and that is having 125 marks. So what is the score that student will get pass? 362, you can say on to safe side, we say 360, but better it should be 362 marks. Aggregate means if somebody is getting less marks in MCQs, more in essay, or more in less in essay, more in MCQs, altogether 362 marks are required to pass the CMA. Okay, our methodology is that we will be going through the book, CMA book. We will follow, we have PowerPoint slide, we will go, we will be having Excel. Most of the solutions will be through the Excel, right? Excel is our whiteboard. So most of the questions there, they will be like that. So we will be MCQs practice, assignments normally is given after every lecture. Assignment given, essay type questions, so on and so on are there. Now here we discussed about related to CMA. Is anybody want to ask related to CMA? Because I would like that we will focus on the exam strategy as well. If any question you want to ask related to CMA, please ask me. Then I will go to exam strategies. No. Basically, where we talk about the exams. So exam can be administered basically in the remote. Proctoring option is also possible from home. People can give the exam as well. Or prometric centers of every country, the exams can be given. So, but in when anybody is doing remote proctoring option there, proctoring means that you should have a cameras properly. You can see that you're sitting at any place that easily visible, right? Yes, somebody has asked the question. Yes. Everybody is getting, I hope everybody is understanding. So we can see, okay, so exam administrator prometric center is there, or remote proctoring option. Remote proctoring option, it means especially it started when the COVID was there. After 1 year or so, they started the remote proctoring, and then you can apply for remote proctoring. and proper camera, etc., and then you can give exam from your home even. The important thing is there that when we are attempting your CMA exam, so preparation is more important. Preparation, uh, you have to select proper course material that include all the sections. It covers the complete syllabus of the CMA so that you can easily give your exam. So, and the material you're preparing, it should be addressing both the multiple choice question and as well as the essay type question. When we know that how much time the CMA preparation will take, so complete time, if you want to say, it should be between 120 hours to 150 hours. That is the complete time we are telling. It includes the lecture time and your practice time at home as well. Normally, the classes for CMA will be going for around 100 hours. You can say there total for CMA part 1 and part 2 plus 100 more hours will be required. In total, if we say that 200 hours are at least needed, so 100 hours will be from the, you can say, institute side, that we will be giving the lectures, etc., the practice material, a lot of things, etc. 100 hours from the institute side and 100 hours additional will be required from the, means when the assignment will be given, the students are attempting at home, those assignment, etc., mock are given, these are given, so 100 hours are required. But that will be, of course, span is 8 months minimum, right? So because each part will be taking around 4 months and 4 months, so in 8 months there are 200 hours that will be required, and 100 hours, as I told you, will be the your lecture time there. So this time management is pretty important, that within whenever you have decided to give the exam, so at that time you should see that you will be completing each syllabus things. What to expect? What to expect the testing center? When you are going to give the exam, 30 minutes prior, you must at least reach. You must be cool and calm, right? Go there, either if you're going to the testing center, prometric center, etc. I think I would say not at least 30 minutes, means 1 hour before you reach. Calm down, sit down there, take the water, and then if you have to go to the washroom, etc., go to the washroom. Then you can utilize the time there, right? You can go there and you can ask them that I want to see the environment. So they can 15 minutes they can give you. You can understand the examination environment. You can see about the portal which they are using, right? How to do it. I will also tell you that. Bring personal identification. What you have to bring there? So photograph ID is required, a valid non-expired passport, two original forms of ID, one with photograph, but both with the your signature. So at least two IDs you should bring it. It might be passport, it might be your, you can say license can be there, your ID might be there, so you can take it, right? And what you have to take with you? What do you have to take with you? As it mentioned that when you will go there, they will give you the locker key. They will give you locker key and they'll say all your belongings keep in that locker. It means your wallet, your mobile, everything you have, right? You have to keep in this locker, right? And even pencils, paper, even the calculator they will give you. Nowadays, you know that in the exam portal, they will be giving you the access for the calculator as well. So you can use the, you can see just like we have the calculator in our Windows, similar type of calculator is present in that. All right. So if you ask, they can also give you the separate calculators. Calculators normally, like it will be simple calculators that will be used. So we discuss about personal identification, lockers, and wear comfortable clothing. Because 4 hours you have to sit at one place, so it should be comfortable. Clothing should be there, and then it should not be that it's teasing you. Where you will take the test: private modular testing booths. Just like if you would have seen in the internet cafe, sometimes they make smaller booth type of things are there. You will go and then be sitting beside you. Many people will be giving you exams, but everybody is having the separate booth. And beside you is not the CMA exam might be going on. So in one room, there are many people are giving exams. Some are giving CPA, some CMA, some TOEFL exams, IELTS exam, many people might be giving. So they always keep the mixed people in that. So calculator, as I told you, 6 function calculators are there. Normally they will give you, but you should take from your side, but probably they will give you from their own side. And as I told you, in the environment that calculator is embedded. Paper, pencil will be provided to you. As I told you that once you will reach there, you should ask them that I want to do the environment practice. So they can give you site, they can tell you, and that site you can not site, but they will open for you this that, and then you can practice things there. 15 minutes does not count. It means this will be practice. This will be you will be seeing the environment, that how to select a question, how to mark a question, how to go ahead, how to backward ahead, how to take the, because I told you that here you know that sometimes in especially in the part 2, but now in the part 1 as well, you need the present value tables, right? Annuity table, present value tables are needed. So as you know that the calculators are simple calculators, so right over there they will provide you the these present value table and annuity table as well. So it means you have to click it and automatically this table will come to you. As we discussed, no food, drink, bathroom, better you should not go, time will be wasted there. Okay, now we're coming to the things, exam strategy for multiple choice questions. Exam strategy for multiple choice question when you are attempting. So when you are attempting a question, you know they can ask you, their 4 choices will be given in that. Of course, it can be theoretical or it can be numerical question. In that, understanding is important, right? Please turn off your microphones. Please, everybody, turn off your microphones. Okay. Now, multiple choice question we were discussing. So, in MCQs, you know that 4 choices are there. 4 choices are there in MCQs, and as I told you, it might be theory question, it might be numeric question, both may come. And in that, what you will have to do, first of all, whenever any question you are reading the question, there are 2 types of you can say question will be coming. One that will be very short, and one that will be long questions, right? Long question or short question. Short question, immediately you should read the 4 choices. Do not try that once you read the question and quickly you are going and quickly you are selecting anything. Please do not use anything here. No marking. Okay. So okay. So we discussed about there will be questions may come in multiple choice question. They will mention the words that may come. Sometimes they say that which is not financial statement, which is not part of financial statement. Now, you should properly understand that the choices will be given that are part of financial statement. Let's say they might give profit and loss account, balance sheet, and they will mention cash flow statement, and they will mention trial balance. So in that, the trial balance is basically not part of financial statement. So be careful what they're asking the question. So sometimes they ask what is a part of financial statement, or sometimes what is not a part of financial statement. Similarly, they will mention that, for example, operating cash flow includes all except, right? Operating cash flow includes all except, right? So you have to, in this they are asking that out of four choices, three will be part of operating cash flow and one will not be part of cash flow. So please be careful when the word except is coming. So there is possibility that you can highlight those things, something, right? So for your answers, so you can see, you can highlight, and then that it will be easy for you to find out the answer. So anyway, whenever any short question is coming, immediately, first of all, read the question. How you read the question? I will say the word, chew the words. Each word, when you are reading the question, each word, right? Be careful, read the words properly, because I told you, I'm telling you, sometimes they say which is not, except, least, which is the most. It means which is least possible answer, which is least possible choice, which is the most probable choice. So it means in this type of question, probably they're giving four choices. All are answers. All are answers. For example, if it said that what is the main purpose of the financial statement? What is the main purpose of the financial statement? Right now, right, which is the least possible purpose of financial statement? Same I've changed. Least possible, or which is the most important purpose of financial statement? Understand? Most important purpose of financial statement, of course, it is to provide the information to the user so that they can make the decision making, right? So which is most important answer, which is most main answer. So you should understand most, least, except, not. These wording, always be careful about that. So it means in the most and least. So all choices might be right, but you have to choose the most relevant or most irrelevant things. Okay, so be careful when you are attempting the multiple choice question. Right, so three pass techniques for MCQs. Read question and answer non-computational ones. When I ask the students that which type of question you like, theoretical or numerical, mostly they say we like numericals. Why numericals? Because once you do 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, you see the answer 5 is there, you say, come on, I got the answer. So they like those things. Secondly, theory you have to read there, and you have to remember that theory. So many people, they don't like the theory, but theory is having one advantage, because minimum time you can attempt that question. Normally theoretical questions that comes, you can solve within 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds. But numerical question might take more than 1 minute, more than 2 minutes, so on. So numerical question may take more time. So that is why the one technique will be read question and answer non-computational ones, because non-computational will not take much time. Mark others. This is one technique, students try to do it. Another, answer computational questions. Leave questions that you are unsure about, marked, right? So some people, they're very good in computational, they would like that computational they will do first, and then theoretical ones they will do. I will recommend you that first try to do those questions which are short. If long question comes, either a big long question relates to theoretical question or a big long question comes. So whenever a big question, big data comes, that after that you will have to answer. First of all, directly go and read the requirement. Long question, read the requirement first. When you will read the requirement first, then you can come to know that how much time you have to dig in to get the answer. Similarly, in theory, right, theory you can, because if it's a multiple choice question, immediately you have to pick it. But a lot you have to read it by reading or you have to do a lot of computation. So better you should mark it and later you can see in the review. Okay, so this will be better. If you have any question, you can ask me. Answer all questions. This is the main task. All 100 questions you have to attempt. Sometimes students come and they say, sir, when I was 85 question, that screen switched, or screen 55 question, if 50%, when you have 4-hour exam, once you 3 hours will finish. So a computer will automatically count the multiple choice question and their answers. If somebody is getting more 50% plus marks, so essay screen will open. If 50% plus marks are not there, essay screen will not open. That is why it is important that you have to go fast. If 3 hour finish, you are 80th question, so of course it will be less chance that you will go essay screen. So how you should do it? I will say to you, whenever you are attempting any question, if you read any question, if you have read any question, still you are unsure, either A is right or C is right. So I will recommend you to have a tick on anyone which is you seek most relevant answer. And then you can mark. Once you tick and you mark, if let's say exam time finish and you cannot review that question, but that tick will go in the exam. When that tick will go in the exam, so of course you can get the marks if it was right one. Okay, so answer all questions. This is the most important. Try to go all questions, mark and tick. This policy you can adopt. As I told you, the long questions or the question which you feel I am not familiar with that there. So that mark and then later on you can review that. Biggest risks is spending too much time on question, right? So how you can do it? Normally, if I say, so if I say, how much time you should devote, right? So MCQs, essay type. We do know we have 3 hours, right? 3 hours means we have 180 minutes and we have 100 questions. That means 1.8 minute. 1.8 minute for every multiple choice question. In essay type, we do know we have 1 hour, and you can see in that depends on normally 2 questions, but it's having the parts. How many parts? 5 parts normal possible. So 10 questions are there. So remember, let's say you have 3 hours here, 180 minutes. So 180 minutes you have. So you should remember that you should complete it in 165 minutes, right? You should finish it 165 minutes. Why? Because 15 minutes are for review, right? 15 minutes are for review, right? Now here is another important thing is there, that how you can see that are you going according to time or you are not going according to time. Listen, you should please turn, please turn off your microphones. When you are at the 20th, or let's say when you do 20th question, when you do 40th question, when you do 60th question, right? And when you do 80th question, 80th question, right? So you should know that we have how much time. According to that, 1.8 minutes you have, right? 1.8 minutes you have, but total 180 minutes. If I say you have 180 minute time, 180 minutes time you have, divide not 180, but let's make it 165 minutes, right? Let's make it 166 divided by 100, right? So it means you have 1.66 minutes you have, because I want 15 minutes will be for review, right? 1.66 multiplied by 20 questions. So it means when you are at the 30th, at the 20th question, so around 30 minutes, or make it 32 minutes, right? 32, here it should be 62, here it should be 92, right? Ninety-two, 130, okay, 122, right? So 32 minutes, probably it will become 64, right? 64, then it will be 96 around, okay, then it will be 98 to 128 minutes, right? And of course, once you will finish the 100th question, so that will be how many minutes? 158, 160 minutes, right? 160 minutes have gone. So 20 minutes for review, right? So 180 minute will be that you can review it. So it means when you see your portal, you will be looking at that. In that you can see that the clock will be ticking. So once you have finished the 20th question, you should see the time. Half an hour gone. Make it half an hour easy, right? 30 minutes. This will be there. 30 minutes will be easy. You can recall. So 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 40 question, 1.5 hour, right? I think that will be better. Make it 30, then 60, right? Around you should be there. Then 90, then 120, then 150. That should be there around. So little more and less is okay. So this is the way you should adopt that. Are you following according to the time? Are you following according to the time? Okay, so we understand that timing here. So whenever you're giving exam, you must see that how you are completing this, right? 15 minutes, 20 minutes should be for the review. It should be there. This is the policy you should adopt for the multiple choice question. Essay type question, right? We don't know how many questions will come. 2 questions will come, but how many parts they will have? 2 parts, 3, normally 3, 4 parts, up till 5 parts, normally they are there, right? So they can give you 4, 5 parts, and then you can attempt that question. Okay, so this is about the, we were discussing the time management, right? Let's come back. Okay, so answer all question. Biggest risk, spending too much time on the question. That I told you that how to attend. Maintain a positive mental outlook. Do not be, if some questions, difficult questions are coming, do not feel like, oh, you will not be able to pass. Do not afraid by this. Later on, probably essay type might come easier. Normally, essay type is tough, but later question might be coming easier. So try to manage the time management. Do not create havoc for you. right? So in the exam, cool mindedness is required. Go fast, right? Be specific when you are reading. So if you have written, if you have done proper practice, I'm telling you, once you will read with the data, you would know what the expected questions are going to come. If you have not done practice, you will not know what is going to come. I have some students, before I finish the complete question, they could tell the answers because they are doing a lot of practice, right? So this is, we can see that when you are attempting the question, you should see, answer all question, and spend too much time is a problem. Positive outlook, review, correct, go back to more difficult questions, right? So try to go, if you have as much time you have, you should know how many questions I have marked, right? As many questions you have to mark, as much more time you have to leave for the end, right? So I told you that whenever you're attempting multiple choice questions, write long questions or more calculative questions or difficult questions, you should try that, you should be uh, taking time. Okay. 3 hours, you have multiple choice question, you have to complete. Yes, is there any confusion you have? Okay. Next, pay close attention to the words. For example, if the question asks you to compare or contrast, now here we are coming to the essay type question. Essay type question, how you should answer the essay type question. How you should answer the essay type question. For example, I'll just give you one example. Okay, I was just giving the lecture of CMA, and process costing was the topic. So I'll show you how. So questions will be coming. Actually, see, when you are attempting any process costing question, this is the question you have, and they ask you to do report costing per unit or calculate the finished good or ending inventory, etc. So if it is the complete question that is essay type given, so this is one question that has come, and in that they can ask you, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, any number of questions they can ask. This is a one complete question is coming, and they can ask you what is the equivalent unit per unit for material, for conversion, cost per unit, conversion cost per unit. So they can ask you multiple types of questions, right? So multiple type of question, and in that, so let's say you are giving answer, okay, I have got these calculations, and I am giving answer, this is cost per unit, this is you have done. In essay type question, where you are attempting, you can prepare, but you have to write something as well, that cost per unit, right, is there, the material was this much, this and that, some descriptive thing as well you should write, right? Some descriptive thing you should also write, not only giving the answers, etc., right? Just like if they ask you. So anyway, when you are doing essay type, not only you have to give the calculation there, but you have to give descriptively, you should also write this. Okay, we were discussing about if it's a compare or contrast. For example, it mentioned you what is the contrast or compare job order costing and process costing. Now you are just writing job order costing is this, job order costing is this, process costing is this. You are describing. Here you are not comparing. Here you are describing. So when you say job order costing, how you can compare? Job order costing is small companies do, process costing big companies do. Job order costing, right? Companies are producing the heterogeneous many products, but in process costing, they're producing the homogeneous same type of product. This is the way you are comparing, right? So be careful what type of question is coming. Accordingly, you have to act. So remember, read the question to understand all requirement. You may have more than requirement. For example, define ABC and interpret its applicability to XYZ. So many students they can do, they will only define ABC or they will interpret only, right? And its applicability to XYZ, it means you should understand there are basically three parts. You have to define ABC, interpret ABC, and mention its applicability to XYZ. Right? So these you should understand the question. So whenever these types of question is coming, so better you should highlight or write down in the piece of paper. This is the question. These things I have to answer. Your English should not be. Do not try to go over smart and try to use different difficult words, because you have to use a standard English, right? Organization, clarity. Do not try to write short words, right? So for example, you have not, you write you haven't, right? Or people are become too much accustomed. For example, you are, they will only write letter R. So but please be careful. This is of course you are giving exam, they would like to see it. So focus should be standard English, organization, clarity. Graders are looking for effective writing skills. Effective writing skills. Remember this thing. So this is important that you have to be geared. In essay question, be brief and to the point. To the point means just like we have seen, they mentioned define ABC and interpret its applicability to XYZ. Now they mentioned define ABC, right, and interpret. What you do, you start comparing with PQR, some other thing. This is irrelevant. This was not asked. This was not asked. Secondly, you should remember this define ABC and interpret its applicability to XYZ. You should see this will be coming under 30 minutes. 30 minutes. This is one question. Probably similar to you, there might be 3, 4, 5 questions might be there. So whenever these questions come, immediately you should first of all calculate the time. That if 30 minutes you have, so you should immediately see all the requirements and immediately plan that how much time on each you are going to spend, right? So better if 30 minutes are there, so 3, 4 minutes, right? For example, there are 3 questions coming, right? If let's say there are 3 questions are coming. So in essay type, if they are giving you, right, 30 minutes and 30 minutes, right? There are 2 questions they are coming, okay? 30 minutes and one more is 30 minutes, right? 2 questions coming. Now in 30 minutes, let's say if they're giving you 3 questions, they're giving you 3 questions. So you should try to complete in 9 minutes. What you do, that try to complete this question in 9 minutes. 9 3s are, so 9 3s are 27, right? 9 minutes, right? You should do 9 minutes, 1 part, right? Multiply by 3 parts, that is 27 minutes, right? So leave 3 minutes, right, for brushing, right? So for brushing, finally, final touch, leave it this. So just plan it, how many questions are coming accordingly. Because I'm telling you, some students, they spend too much time on one or two questions. When they give too much time on one or two questions, what happens that they could not complete. They could not complete. So MCQs, as I told you, right, you should try to get 80% plus, right, marks in your practice things. Then only when you are planning to book the date, so you should plan that in each section you should be getting 80% plus marks in each section at your home practice, right? Then you should try that, okay, I should book the exam, and then after booking the exam, right, you should do a lot of practice, etc. And this is the exam we are discussing about. So 9 minutes, 9 minutes, 9 minutes. If you have three questions, so it should be, so you should give 9 minutes each. So 9 minutes each, it will become how much? 27. 27, and same policy you can adopt for this one. So next point that comes in, can you scroll to the right? 30 minutes, 30 minutes, two questions are coming. Can you go to the next question? Obviously, you can go to the next question. Means, right, as I told you, when you are in multiple choice question, up till 100 question, you can go forward and you can mark it. Once you review it, those review mark question will be coming. Mark question will be coming, and then you can check it. And you are in essay type, there are two questions are there. You can go first question to second question, you can go. Okay. Now, so read the question to understand, define, etc. we discussed. Be brief. Do not leave questions. Do not leave a questions blank. In short, on time, at least write an outline of your main points. This is very important. If you are short of time, you should tell your examiner, right? You should tell your examiner, I know this. I know this what you are asking, but I am short of time, right? If you don't have time, if you don't have time, right? Normally bullet points are not a good, right? So is it okay to use bullet points? So basically, you should not try to use bullet points, right? Try to write in the sentence. But if you have very short time, so you can write in the short. If you have, let's say, 2 minutes left, the last question, 3 minutes left, then you can write the whatever the main points are there of this. Graders are looking to give you points, not take them away. So understand this point. So they will give you the marks if means the you can say partial marks will be given. In MCQs, it's a do and die situation. If choice is A, you picked A, you got the answer. If you don't pick A, you have 0 marks. It means sudden death position. Either you get full marks or you get 0 marks. But in essay type, this is not there. So you can get the partial marks even. You did not complete the question, but you can get the partial marks even. Graders are looking to give points, not take them away. Type your response into a text box. Remember, text box for essay type will be given. You have to write in that. Be sure to use all time available to you, right? Do not leave the paper earlier. You should sit until the time gets finished. Everybody gets nervous about exams. Try to channel your nervous energy in a positive way. Focus on doing your best. And remember, you can always sit in the exam again. So do not get nervous. You can give the exam away. Once you have passed the two parts, so if you have passed the two parts, if you have passed the two parts, then your exam, right, for multiple choice question, it will be coming immediately, right? Answer will be coming immediately. But as far as the others concerned, essay type, etc., so it will be taking 2 to 3 weeks, then your exam will be mailed to you, right? 2 to 3 weeks exam will be mailed for you, because for your essay type question, they will be reading that completely and then they will give answer, etc. Okay, so is there any question you have related to the exams, etc.? Yes. No questions. We have less time, but we will go for financial statement analysis as we discussed for the part 2. What is the financial statement analysis? Basically, when we talk about the financial statement analysis, so companies prepare financial statement, that is profit and loss account. So we have the profit and loss statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, statement of changes in equity, notes, etc. These are the financial statement we have. So once a company has prepared financial statement, right, then they should be analyzed from the compared with the last year comparison. So if we talk about the comparison, so how the comparison can be done? Comparison can be done right with last year, right, budgets, competitors, benchmarking partners. Beside that, they can also compare with industry average. So normally you will always be comparing with your last year. All right. Normally last year comparison is always on. So comparison, we do it, and then there are different types of ratios. What are there? Ratios are liquidity ratios. You will see whether you can pay in short term or not. Ratios might be activity ratios. You can see that how's your inventory is performing, how much your receivables performing, how much your fixed asset performing, how your means payables, accounts payable performing. So all you will check related to those. These are called basically activity analysis. Then debt analysis, whether you'll be able to pay debt in time. So these different ratios are there for that is compared. And then profitability ratios. So many profitability ratios are there that we see. Basically in part 2, when we talk about, there are a lot of ratios are there that we are going to discuss in the part 2. When we are looking about, when we want to analyze financial statement, so how the analysis could be done? Analysis could be horizontal analysis that you compare from your current year to the last year. You compare. This is basically horizontal analysis. You can also compare with other company as well data, horizontal analysis. Percentage analysis, how much percentage financial statement, normally it's also coming under the vertical analysis. We do it, and finally ratio analysis. So what is the difference between horizontal and analysis and the vertical analysis? So first we see that dollar and percentage change on statement. So we have basically, let's say if you have IT company and you are comparing it with the Microsoft, so it will look ridiculous. Microsoft $1 trillion company and your company might be small. So how you can compare your profit and their profit, their revenue and your revenue? There's no comparison, right? What you can do? You have to keep when you're doing the common size. We call it common size statement. Common size means you will say my sales equal to 100%, Microsoft sales is also equal to 100%. Common size. Your sales 100, Microsoft sales 100. This is called common size statement. So common size, we will make it. Right. So let's see here, horizontal analysis. Let's say here is mentioned. Horizontal analysis here, companies having 2006 data and 2007 data. So they want to compare it. So there, right, you will see horizontal analysis, you can see, you will compare that dollar change, how much change in terms of dollar, current year minus base year. So current year minus base year, if you will change, what will come? Current year 12,000, previous year 23,500, so $11,500 change. This is negative, right? Your cash has reduced. So this is their dollar change we can consider, right? Or we can say the percentage change. So we'll see how much change, 11,500 divided by last year, 23,500, right? This will be dollar change you can calculate. Similarly, in the income statement, you can calculate 520 minus 480, that is 40,000, and that is equal to how much percent? 8.3%. So how you will get this 8.3%, right? You have to see how much change has happened. 40,000 divided by 480,000. So times 100, times 100. That is coming 8.33%. This is called basically horizontal analysis. So horizontal means you can say data, you are not going vertical way, you are going horizontal way, you are comparing one year to other. So this is, we can say horizontal analysis. You can see in dollar, you can also see the change and how much change has come in this year. So you can also check it. This is called horizontal analysis. Okay, trend percentages, current year divided by base year, current year divided by basis. If you want to check the trend, you can check it. Now here is no 2 year, here is almost 5-year data. So how you say how gradually things are changing. So you had your sales 275,000, that increased 290, 320, 355, 400. So this is not 1 year change. This is the four change basically. In 5 years, there will be 4 changes that are coming. So you can compare. You can keep the, normally last year we keep the base year. So we'll see that 290, right now it has become the 290. Before it was the 275. So you can check it up. How you can do, how much change has happened. So 290 divided by 275, right? So 290 divided by 275 times 100, you will get, it has become basically, right? So in the trend analysis, you can see that 275,000 was your sales, that has become 290,000. So how much change has become? So we can check it up that it has become 290 to 290 divided by 275. So 290,000 divided by 275,000 times 100, it is equal to 105%. So in 2004, right, we have okay. So sir, I am CF level students of chartered accountancy, and sir, I am from Pakistan. If I attempt the same exam, will I be having some exemption in the paper? I'm sorry, dear. In CMA, they do not give exemptions, right? Already they have 2 papers, so they do not give exemption. They had the from Indian CMA earlier, they had this, they have mutual understanding that they will give each other the exemptions, but they do not give anything. So you have to pass the exam. CMA, CPA, they don't give exemptions, right? Is there, okay, fine. Okay. So we have discussed about how it will be going thus. Next, we have, we can see if you want to check 320 is the sales in 2005 divided by 275. So 320 divided by the 275, you can check it up. 320 divided by 275 times 100 times 100, right? So it's coming how much? 116, right? It's coming how much? So 116. So means you have kept base year equal to 100%. So always you are comparing with the base year. Base year you can also change later on, right? When you feel that this has been too much change gone, so you cannot compare with your earlier year. So you can change the base, but anyway, here we are comparing with the base year is 2000, 2003. This is basically trend analysis. So it is basically, you can see kinda in horizontal, same is there, but we are having a lot of analysis. We are checking a lot of years. That's why we will call it trend analysis. And this is, we can say, how your gross profit, sales, and all is going on. Now we're coming to the common size vertical statement. So common size, when we'll be going for that, all statement is usually expressed as a percentage of sales. In vertical, everything you will divide by, in income statement, vertical, when you're doing everything, divide by sales. Everything divide by sales. Quickly, I'll mention you. Let's say we have this data. So we are keeping sales equal to 100%. Let's say 2007 data. So vertical, common size, vertical statement. How we are doing it? Sales is here and cost, everything is down. So it means this is called vertical because everything you will divide by sales. Let's say 360 cost divided by 520. So if we'll do in vertical, we will do 360 divided by 480, right? 3520, 360 divided by 580. So 360 divided by 520, right, times 100, right, times 100. So that will be 69%, 69.2%, right? So once you will do it, so this will be 69%. Then you can do, let's see, 160 divided by 520. So everything we divide by sales. So in vertical statement, when you're preparing, so vertical income statement, everything you will be dividing by sales. Sales means net sales. Net sales means sales minus any return, discounts, etc. So net sales. So sales means net sales, you will divide and then you will be getting these things. Whereas here we can see both years and you can compare that your cost was 69.2% in 2007, right, and 65.6% in 2006. So it means which year is better? Which year is better? Of course, when the cost is less. So 2006 cost is less. This year is better one as compared to the 2007. 2007 your cost has increased, so profit has decreased. So you can say gross margin has decreased 30.8% and as compared to 34.4%. So we can see even the profit, you can see our profit has shrinks to 3.4% as compared to 4.7%. This is the way we will be comparing our income statement. And here we can see 2015. Here the Malavik company is there. 2015, they have a balance sheet. In balance sheet, remember, everything you have to divide by total assets. Or we do know assets are equal to liability plus equity. So 508 is an asset. So it means 508,000 will also be your equity plus liabilities. So it means anyway you have to divide it by total assets or total liability and capital. This is same thing. So just like I was telling you in the income statement, everything you have to divide by sales. In the balance sheet, everything you have to divide by the total asset value. So anyway, we have here cash 20,000. So I will divide it by 508,000. So 20 divided by 508, what it will show? 20 divided by 508. I believe everybody is professional. I am skipping the 1,003 zeros here, right? 3.93%. So 3.9% is over there. So it means everything, every item we are dividing by total assets. So this is, we have seen 2015, our percentage based financial statement. So you can easily mention that when we are keeping our total assets equal to 100%, so this percentages will become. So anyway, either the company is a small company or a big company, you can always compare, because total assets of both the companies you have to keep equal to 100, and then you have to see whether this company is good in profitability, gross profit, operating profit, net profit, EBITDA profit. So different types of profit are similarly in the assets, current assets, non-current assets, intangibles, etc., etc. So you can always compare between 2 years, two companies, etc., etc. This is what we can see. This is our vertical statement. Okay, when we do the ratio analysis, right? So we were discussing financial statement analysis. Financial statement analysis, as we discussed, that it includes the horizontal statement, it includes the trend analysis, it includes the vertical financial statement analysis, and now we're coming to the ratio analysis. Ratio analysis, right, comprise of, there are different types of ratios we have. In liquidity analysis, if we talk about liquidity, means that can you pay your short-term liabilities from your short-term, that is current liabilities, can you pay from your current assets, or you cannot. This is basically called the liquidity analysis. What type of ratios we have? So many types of ratios we have. So you can see this is basically ability to pay in short term, right? Can company pay current liabilities from current assets? So what type of ratio we can have? Working capital, current ratio, quick ratio, cash flow ratio, working capital ratio, right? When we talk about this is the calculation we have done in one of the class, but anyway, solvency ratio. Solvency ratio, when we talk about that a company could pay its long-term liabilities, right? Its leverage positions, etc. So in that, what type of ratios are there in CMA? Debt to equity ratio, long-term debt to equity ratio, debt to asset ratio, long-term debt ratio, times interest earned, earning to fixed charge, cash flow to fixed charge, operating leverage, financial leverage. These are the all types of ratios that relates to the solvency ratio. When it comes to the profitability, a huge number of ratios are there. Basically in profitability, basically I have combined the market ratios as well. So there are some ratios which are called the market ratio that also may come under the profitability ratio. So what profitability ratio relates to your income statement, mostly that gross profit, operating profit, expense to sales ratio, net profit ratio, EBITDA to profit ratio, capital employed ratio, return on asset, return on equity, DuPont, return on asset, DuPont, return on equity, earning, basic earning per share, diluted earning per share. So there are a lot of types of ratios are there. So once you will, if some those you will be enrolling for the CMA program, so we will be going all ratio and then project calculation as well we'll do. So here we will start little questions there. This is one of the balance sheet is given. So current assets and non-current assets given here. And we have the, in financing side, we have current liabilities, non-current liabilities, and stockholder equities are here. So we can see here that current assets total is coming. This is the income, this is the balance sheet there, and income statement as well. I have combined at one place so that easy it will be to do the calculations. What we call working capital. Working capital is basically running for business running, day-to-day business expenses, how much working capital you have. It comprises of current assets and current liabilities. So as the company's incomes increasing, its size is increasing. So current assets should also increase, right? The current asset should also increase. Of course, current liability will also increase, but the requirement will be more and more if the in companies sales is increasing, its size is increasing, so the working capital should also increase. So we'll see in this particular question that whether working capital is sufficient or not, right? This is thing important that normally you say you calculate working capital only. For example, we have here 2015 168,000 is current assets and current liabilities 46,000. It's 122 as compared to 2014. It's 122,000. But we will check later on by one more ratio that is this 120,000 is more or it is less according to the size of the company that we will measure later. So working capital means current assets minus current liabilities. So if you have more current assets and you pay all current liabilities, still you have some amount available. So you can, the day-to-day expenses, etc., you can use this money for. Here we have the current balance sheet is given for 2 years. So if we say what will be the current ratio? Current ratio means current assets minus current liabilities. So current assets we have 1.8 million. Current liabilities, current assets we have how much? 760,000, and current liabilities we have for the same year 390. So we can see 760 minus 390, that will be our working capital calculation. So 760 minus 390, that is our working capital. So do you people have some confusion? Anybody want to ask related to finance? Anybody wants to ask the question? Please let me know. Okay. So we calculated here. We calculated here basically current assets minus current liabilities, that becomes 760,000. So 760 minus 390, it will be 370,000 is our current ratio. Let's see current assets divided by current liabilities we discussed. Now calculate. Okay. Now if we calculate for the other year, if you calculate for the other year, $635 minus 390, right? Sorry. If we want to see the previous year, so 635 minus 275, we can do it. That is for the this year. Okay. Let's come to the next ratio. We have quick asset test ratio. Formula is quick assets divided by current liabilities. What is quick asset? Basically, quick asset does not include two items: prepayments and inventory, that we call stock. So two item it does not include. So if in the same question, if you see what will be excluding in the question, we will see these are our all current assets that comprise cash equivalent, available for sale, account receivable, notes, inventory, prepayment. 760,000 was current asset, but in these two items that turn off. 760 minus inventory minus prepayment, that is 95,000 you can deduct, right? So 760,000 minus 95,000. If you do it, 760 is our current assets minus inventory 85 minus prepayment 10. So if you do it, that becomes 665. 665 divided by our again current liabilities. So current liabilities for the current year is 390. So 665 divided by 390,000. So that will come 1.7, right? So 1.7 is our quick ratio, right? So we discussed that calculate current receivable means cash plus marketable is net receivable. We will add it means cash available for sale, account receivable, note receivable, all we have added. Either you add these four or in from the total you manage the inventory and the prepayments. Once we deduct, we will come to know quick asset values. Remember, quick asset does not include inventory, quick asset does not include prepayments. So two things you will minus. This will be, we will have, I think, 665,000 divided by our current liabilities are 390,000. This is our quick asset ratio. When we talk about the cash equivalent, cash equivalent, many times student does not understand. When we say cash, so cash include the bank as well, petty cash as well, bank overdraft as well, plus any cash that you are going to receive is in less than 90 days. That may include as well, you can say, will include the short-term securities available for securities held to maturity, etc. These can also be included. So this is important because in investments may also be there. So you should be careful that what cash equivalent include. It include right cash, it include bank, it include any petty cash, it includes short-term securities, right? So that may include available for sale, held to maturity. If held to maturity is coming within 90 days, remember, right? Or it can be a trading security, right? So if any security was issued 5 years ago, but now within 90 days it's maturing. So you can say you can include in cash equivalent in this case. So cash and cash equivalent. So now here in this question, we can see we have cash and cash equivalent. What are the items are there which are cash and cash equivalents? We have 325,000 plus available for sale security. So remember, available for sale security is part of cash and cash equivalent. So when you're calculating cash ratio, so cash and cash equivalent divided by current liability. So we have 325 plus 165, right? That divided by 390. So that is coming 1.256. So this is cash ratio. So as I told you that when we are calculating the current ratio should be 2 plus 2 current assets and current liabilities equal to 1. So it means 2 to 1 ratio will be considered good, but it depends on the industry as well. But normally 2 current ratio, if it's coming 2 or more, it is good. Quick ratio, if it is coming 1 or more, it is good. And cash ratio, if it is coming 1 or more, cash ratio is coming 0.5 or more, is considered good. This is we discussed about different ratios. Net working capital ratio. When we talk about the net working capital, we discussed the working capital. Working capital was current assets minus current liabilities. It means 760 minus 390. What that was the net working capital. But when we want to calculate the working capital ratio, so working capital, whatever we calculated, it should be divided by total assets. So total assets in the current year, we have 1.8 million. So we can see 760,000 is the current assets and current liability is 390. So working capital will come divided by total assets. This is 1.8 million. So 760 minus 390 divided by 1800,000, that is coming 2.206. That we have to compare with the next year. Now, as I told you, we will compare it with the next year. So let's see in the next year, what was the working capital if I say 635 minus 275. So let me calculate it next year as well. 635,000 minus current liabilities, we have 275,000. This should be divided by total assets of prior year. Total assets were 1600. So it's 3 zeros I'm skipping in all of them. So we can see in this case, our 635 is our current assets minus current liabilities is 275. That comes 360. 360 divided by total assets are 1600. So if you calculate, it is coming 0.225. 0.225. It means now, as we discussed, do we have sufficient working capital? So if our total assets are increasing, so current working capital should also increase. It means current assets should be more than current liabilities. Difference should be there. So we can see in the previous year, right? Last year we have 0.225, right? 0.225 was our working capital ratio, but current year it has reduced to 0.206. It means working capital is reducing, right? So as the operations increase, as the sales increase, as the assets increase, so working capital should also increase, right, proportionately. But we can see our working capital is reducing, so company should be having more current assets available to meet their current liabilities demand, etc., right? So this is what we discussed, the working capital ratio. So do you have any confusion? I think we cannot complete all of this. So if you have anybody wants to ask, raise any question, please let me know. If anybody wants to raise any questions related to that, please let me know. So not much questions. So we will be, so I would like that if those students who are interested in the program, they can enter into the CMA program. Okay. Have a good day, everybody. Take care.